Next, Republican Congressman Tom Tancredo officially announces his candidacy for president while appearing on a Des Moines, Iowa radio program. Our cameras were there in the studios of WHO. This is just over 10 minutes.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to our Monday morning get-together. My name is Jan Michelson. What we do here during the daylight hours between 9 and 11:30, Monday through Friday, is jabber about stuff. And sometimes we talk about politics. Sometimes we're silly. Sometimes we're just open line. And today we're going to do all of the above. We're going to do political stuff during the first hour with Congressman Tom Tancredo. He's from Colorado, and he's about to establish Iowa residency. And because he is thinking about and giving serious consideration to for a higher office. And welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you very much, Jan. It's a pleasure, as always, to join you.
Later this morning, Senator Joe Biden is going to be dropping by. Would you like me to leave any snotty remarks that I could use for him?
No, I'll leave him a note here. Don't worry, I'll pass it on.
You can leave some graffiti on the screen.
Some chewing gum in the microphone here.
Well, thank you for coming by, and you brought a bunch of your friends with you here today.
Yeah, and my family. My wife is here with me today somewhere. I know she came in the door.
We'll find her a place for her to settle in, because we've got a bunch of TV folks and journalists, print journalists.
Why are they here? What have you told these people?
I told them that you had a confession to make. We only have an hour.
We'll mail in the rest.
So you're here today with some presidential aspirations.
That is true. I have chosen talk radio to make an announcement today, and I've chosen it because, frankly, it has been responsible for having developed this whole issue. And it's been about 8 years that I've been in Congress, and I've done probably 1,800 or more talk radio shows about the issue, and probably did, 1,500 on this with you, but anyway, a lot, on the issue of illegal immigration. And I am convinced to this day that that issue is really what has pushed that medium has pushed the issue. It's given me a megaphone that I would never have had. It allows you to talk directly to the American people. There's no filter in between. And you're talking to people who care about issues. They're the ones who are listening. And I'm convinced that it is talk radio that has allowed us to get where we are today. So, yeah, Jan, America is in a crisis of enormous proportion. Most people really do understand it, I think. Most communities where I go, they get the picture. We are fighting far-flung battles in lands far away from the United States, and we're doing that to defend the nation. But this battle over immigration is really to define the nation. We've got between 15 to 20 million people living here illegally. Now, just to put that in perspective, that's Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Houston, and Philadelphia put together, or 6 times the state of Iowa. When you have that many people living in the country illegally, they put, of course, enormous strains on your social service system, on your educational system, on your prisons, on hospitals and health care. And we all know that. We've talked about that a lot. We've talked about the specific impact on all of these areas. And we know that Americans do understand that that's happening. We talk about the possibility that they really do take jobs instead of just simply coming for jobs that no other American wants. They don't wait in lines. Illegal aliens don't wait in lines. They don't pay the dues. And to a large extent, unfortunately, they are not connecting to America. They're looking, many of them, I should say, not all, but certainly many, and far too many, are looking at America as a place, looking to see what the country can do for them instead of what they can do for the country. I think that this crisis is not only an economic crisis. I think that it threatens the very idea of America. There's the great tradition of the melting pot in America. It's not working. That melting pot is cracked. Assimilation is not going on to the extent that it is necessary to go on in order for us to hold together, and not to the extent that it used to. Many of the people coming in don't want to assimilate. People here in the United States, people here in government positions, are telling them they shouldn't assimilate. They should stay separate. They should keep their own language. We'll teach them in a separate language. We'll facilitate the use of that language other than English for them while they're here. This does nothing to hold us together as a society. As I say, it's the assimilation process that's the biggest problem, I find, in this whole debate on illegal immigration. And not too long ago, you might recall, I got in a little dust-up because I mentioned something about Miami.
Mm-hmm.
One of the individuals who he was quoted in Time magazine as being a leader in
something
that
about the third world,
yeah,
as I recall.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I was in Florida, and
your visa has been revoked.
Believe me, it has. Yes, the Governor Bush, who was governor at the time, wrote me a letter and suggested that I would not be terribly welcome there. Well, as a matter of fact, we had a...
It's pretty much a family-wide thing.
It really is. There's something with the family, I guess. But we had a speech set up there. And after I made the comment that Miami was like a third world country, I was asked to go down and speak, and they had to actually cancel the speech because there were bomb threats at the restaurant, and the owner felt that would not be good for his daily business, and so
he heard that you were a really crummy tipper, apparently.
That's right. And so he pulled back, but there was a quote I remember at the time, and this really does encapsulate the concerns that I have about this whole issue. There was a quote by a guy who considers himself to be a leader in the immigrant community in Miami, and he said the thing he loved about Miami was the fact that it was a city where he never felt any pressure to be an American. Now, I got a letter from Jeb Bush shortly after this little dust-up, and he said, this is a place that we celebrate diversity, Florida and Miami in particular. And I told him that I thought it's great to celebrate diversity, and it is. Diversity can be a very positive thing. But it becomes a very negative thing when you make it almost into a state religion. You cannot have diversity as the one goal, the one value of a society that holds you together. It's an oxymoronic sort of thought. It is something that pulls us apart. We can celebrate aspects of it, but we can't concentrate on it being the thing that holds our communities together. So therefore... So our leaders, for too long, our national leaders have forgotten this. They have, the political elite in Washington have chosen to ignore this phenomena. We have forced many of them into talking about it and to taking positions that try their best. They strain so hard to try to take a position that fits with mine on illegal immigration. It's the old, I'm against illegal immigration, next question, but they are most of them for amnesty. When I look at the field of people running for President of the United States, I see no one that will really discuss this issue to the extent that it needs to be discussed, because, as I say, it's one of the most serious problems facing the country. And therefore, because this field does not offer me that kind of opportunity, that kind of particular characteristic, there's no one there with that characteristic, I'm going to run for President of the United States. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to announce that, as I just did here today on your show on Talk Radio, because Talk Radio, as I say, that's the one that brought, they're the ones that brought me to the party. So we're going to dance with them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you're over here today. It's been fun to get to know you over the last several months. My audience really appreciates the fact that you're dug in and entrenched on this issue. I get deluged with emails. Usually the question is, gee, I wish that guy was running for president or something.
Okay. Everybody that have ever asked him the question, just go to teamtancredo.org right now and sign up and send us money. And
I know you must be serious about it, because Bill Solier here in Iowa has decided to run your campaign. He ran for Senate a few years ago.
He did.
And he made a colossal impression here on a lot of Iowans. And the fact that he is here today and not farrowing.
It's right.
I'm not talking about he wouldn't be farrowing.